Hey y'all, welcome back to the Free Black Women's Library YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for liking this video and thank you for subscribing to my channel. What's up, y'all? My name is Ola. I am an artist, cultural worker, and the creator and director of a fabulous social art project called the Free Black Women's Library, tuning in from Brooklyn, New York. Here I am in the space. And on this channel, I talk about books, movies, and TV shows. Just ramble about them, child. Just ramble. And I'm doing a series where I'm doing reactions to an old school classic, A Different World. Today I'm talking about season 1, episode 10. I made it to 10 episodes. I'm so proud of me. So let's get into it. The name of this episode is The Gift of the Magi. The Gift of the Magi. And this episode starts off in Gilbert Hall. We see Maggie, Jaleesa, and Denise, and they're decorating a Christmas tree. It's Christmas. It's the Christmas episode. Now, those of you who are couch potatoes like myself, you know that it is a common plot line within a lot of television to have these like extra special episodes because people can automatically feel a sense of familiarity with the theme that's being explored. And it's very common to have a Christmas episode, a Thanksgiving episode, a Halloween episode. So, anyway, this is the Christmas one. And like I said, Maggie, Jaleesa, and Denise are decorating the tree. And then Millie comes downstairs and she's kind of indignant. And as we know, Millie is Whitley's little minion. Another common trope within TV shows is you have the so-called mean girl, and then the mean girl has like 1 to 2 to 3 minions who kind of just like do her bidding. It's very strange. I don't know if it happens in real life with mean girls. Those of you who identify as mean girls out there, let me know in comments. Either way, Millie is so cute to me. I love her little glasses. I guess she's supposed to be kind of nerdy and awkward or whatever, but she is Whitley's right hand. She's like Robin to Whitley's Batman. She comes downstairs and she says to Jaleesa, who's got the angel that goes to the top of the tree in her hand, and she says, Jaleesa, you need to let Whitley put the angel at the top of the tree because she's going through a hard time right now. And Jaleesa says, no, I'm the dorm director. So that means I get to put the angel at the top of the tree. And Millie says, no, you have to let Whitley do it. She's going through something. Her parents are getting a divorce. And it's like a bit of shock. Everyone's gagged, right? And they stare, and Millie just says, yeah. So that's why you need to let Whitley do it because she's going through a hard time. And so Jaleesa and Millie get into this back and forth, physical back and forth with the angel. And Whitley comes downstairs and says, Millie, what are you doing? This is not behavior becoming a young lady. You know, Whitley's very proper. And Millie says, I was just trying to convince them to let you put the angel at the top of the tree because you're going through something really hard right now. And I figure it will help make you feel better. And Whitley says, Millie, now I know that you're not turning people's Christmas snow into slush by telling them my personal business. And Millie says, well, they made me. No, they didn't. So Millie goes on upstairs and Whitley's standing there dealing with her Christmas mail. And we know from past episodes that Whitley is very much into Christmas. We've gotten that clue earlier in the season. And Denise, who's the sweetheart of the trio, the soft-hearted one, says, oh, Whitley, I'm so sorry to hear about your parents getting a divorce. And Whitley says, oh, it's okay. You know, it was bound to happen. They were waiting till I grew up, and, you know, their relationship has been fraught for some time now, but it's fine. You know, it just makes Christmas a little bit different. And Denise says, well, if you want, you can come spend Christmas with me in Brooklyn. Whitley's like, no, thank you. I'm going skiing with my dad in Switzerland, in St. Moritz. We're going to a fancy ski lodge, and it's going to be so cool. And it's going to be awesome. And I'm so excited. Me and my dad, we have such a good time together. We're just like, he's just like the best. And then he's like, oh, well, excuse me. There we go. So then Jaleesa makes an announcement. We're having Secret Santa. Secret Santa in the dorm. You pull a name from a hat, and for 7 days, you get gifts. And the gifts, the person who's your Secret Santa is revealed at the Christmas event on campus. So Maggie pulls Jaleesa's name, and Jaleesa pulls Maggie's name. So that means they have to give each other gifts behind the scenes and not let the other person know who it was. So in comes Dwayne, and he has a mistletoe. He walks in, he puts his foot on the coffee table, and he puts the mistletoe above his head and goes like this. Dwayne is a creep. Dwayne's a creep. Like, you just think people are just gonna walk up to you and kiss you in the dorm. It's just like, oh God. So Kim Wayans, she says, you look crazy. You look like a fool. Okay, please get out of here. So he's kicked out. And then we see, now we're back in the dorm room, Maggie, Jaleesa, and Denise's dorm room. And Maggie has this clay pot that's shaped like an owl. It could be a planter. It could be something that you put things inside of. And Maggie is, mind you, the episode opens with Maggie singing the Little Drummer Boy song. And it's like, you know how you get a song stuck in your head? So she's singing it over and over again. And everybody's getting annoyed. They're looking at her like, please stop. So when we see her in the dorm room with the clay pot, she's wrapping it up and she's singing. Denise walks in and she stops singing. And Denise sees the gift and she's like, oh, that's interesting. And Maggie's like, yes, I got it from the arts and crafts fair. I'm so happy. I did all my Christmas shopping early. So she puts it in a gift bag with some tissue paper and puts it on Jaleesa's bed. Jaleesa walks in. Maggie says, oh, Santa left you something. Jaleesa opens the bag, pulls out the planter and says, it's an owl. She's not impressed at all. She's not happy about this gift. And Maggie says, well, it's better than getting a ream of copy paper. And Jaleesa says, well, that's because you're always taking mine. This is like old school, like copy paper. Do they have a printer in their room? I thought that was kind of cool that they mentioned that. But either way, and Jaleesa says, well, you're always borrowing my paper. And Maggie says, exactly, which is why I don't need it as a gift. So they both don't like each other's gifts, right? Jaleesa got Maggie a ream of paper. Maggie got her this owl. It's just not working. So then in comes Ron. Ron is Dwayne's minion, Dwayne's best friend. Their relationship grows as the years go on, thankfully. And I actually do enjoy their friendship. I feel like it's a good representation of positive masculinity later. But as of now, Ron is a minion, as Maggie is a minion. And he comes in with breakfast, croissant, peanut butter, fruit, and it's for Denise. Breakfast for Denise. Yay. So that's her Secret Santa. Now, this part kind of confused me because I thought the Secret Santa was like girls in the dorm room being Secret Santa to each other. So I don't know how Dwayne pulled Denise's name. Plot hole. So Ron delivers breakfast and Maggie's like, oh man, I wish my Secret Santa got me breakfast. Jaleesa feels the same way. And then Dwayne is hanging out in Gilbert Hall in the lobby area the way he's always not supposed to do that. And we see this man and this woman come into the dorm. And it turns out that this man is Whitley's daddy, Mercer Gilbert. And the woman is Monica. So Dwayne thinks that Monica is Whitley's sister. And he's like, oh, sir, I know your daughter. And looks like you have another beautiful daughter. Monica's young, very lovely actress who I've seen in other things, not big things, but definitely recognized her and should have looked up her name before turning the camera on today. My bad. I'll find out what her name is and put it in comments. But either way, no, she's not Whitley's sister. She is Dad's special friend. And then we see Whitley and she's like, Daddy. And he's like, turn around, let me look at you. And she spins around and he calls her princess for the entire rest of the episode. He never calls her Whitley, which I thought was a very good trick. As far as like the writers telling us about their relationship, right? She's always princess this, princess that. So he introduces Monica to Whitley and she says, oh, it's kind of strange that you brought somebody from work. She's a paralegal in his office. And Mercer, Daddy says, well, Monica is a special friend of mine. And Whitley is annoyed. Dwayne leaves, Merce and Monica leave, and as they leave, there's mistletoe above the door, and they give each other a kiss right there under the mistletoe and leave. Whitley walks over to the mistletoe, grabs it down, and stomps on it with her feet. She's not feeling it. So yeah, it turns out that she's not going to be in St. Moritz on the Alps with just her dad. Monica's going to be there too. So then we move on and we see that Jaleesa gets another gift from her Secret Santa, and it is a macrame style plant hanger. And she's not impressed at all. Again, she's like, this is not me. This is not something that I need. And Ron comes in and he's done Denise's laundry, but he has sprayed it with some type of musky cologne. And we see that Whitley is like, I'm not going to St. Moritz, right? Because what happens is we have that moment where Ron delivers Denise's laundry and it smells funky. And then we're in Whitley's room and she's sitting there like so sad. So she ends up calling her mom to see if she could spend time with her mom on the holidays instead of her dad. And her mom is like, I'm gonna be at a spa in Florida, boo. So her mom basically blows her off. So now she's in her room and she starts kind of like rage eating. She starts eating, she's wrapping chocolate. She opens up, she starts eating the chocolate. She's wrapping fruitcake. She opens the fruitcake. She starts eating the fruitcake. And as she's stuffing her mouth with the fruitcake, Denise comes into the room looking for like wrapping paper or tape and catches her stuffing her face. So Denise says, Denise being the empath that she is, she says, oh, I eat when I'm depressed too. And Whitley tells her about the situation with her dad. And she's like, I'm not going to St. Moritz anymore. And Denise convinces her to go. They have a little talk. So they have this little bonding moment where their friendship that started off kind of prickly is now kind of forming a little bit because Denise offers her a listening ear in this moment. And Whitley's open to sharing a little bit. She gets a little vulnerable with the situation, and Denise tells her, I think you should talk to your dad about this. I don't think you should not go on this trip because your dad will miss you, you know." And Whitley shares that how special her dad has always made her feel. Her dad has always made her feel beautiful. And now this Monica person is just like, ugh, she's just not happy about it. And Denise is like, well, you know, your dad deserves to move on and have happiness too, right? And you don't want to completely block him out. So Whitley takes her advice, kind of, sort of. And the next thing we see is that dinner, the Christmas dinner, where Jaleesa and Maggie find out they're each other's secret Santa. They have a little kiki about that. Whitley is dressed up like Santa's elf, and she's collecting gifts for the needy or for children or whatever. And then we see Monica and Mercer there. And Monica gives Whitley this gift, which is like this really wide black belt, which is coincidentally the perfect thing to complement the outfit that Whitley has on, because Whitley's dressed like Santa, but she doesn't have like the belt, that big black shiny belt that elves wear or Santa wears. She has the red suit and the red hat, but no belt. So Whitley takes the belt and throws it in the bag with the other gifts. And Denise is watching this whole thing take hold. And Denise says to Monica, you should go talk to Whitley. So Monica goes to talk to Whitley and she's like, listen, I know this is not the most ideal situation, but your dad is with me now. And you need to get on board because with or without you, this train is moving on. I didn't like that. I did not like that. With or without you, this train is moving on. It just felt kind of mean and pushy to say, like, your boyfriend's daughter is just met you. She's still adjusting, and y'all just kind of showed up. She got no warning, right? So I felt bad for Whitley in this moment, but something Monica said shifted something in her. She opens up the Christmas bag. She puts the belt on, the ugly belt that Monica bought for her. And she goes over there and she says, oh, we're going to have a good time in Switzerland. I'm looking forward to it. And Mercer is all happy because his two girls are getting along, his daughter and his new girlfriend. Right. So Monica confronts Whitley. And Whitley goes along with it. And I think part of what bothered me is that Monica was put in that position to talk to Whitley when it should have been Merce, her dad, who should have talked to Whitley about this. He should have been the one to go over to talk to her and say, I know that I just showed up with this woman out of nowhere. I love you. You're my daughter. And I want you and her to get along. I thought it would be a nice way for y'all to meet. I'm sorry we just showed up. And, you know, I understand that this is difficult and this is a big change, but this is what's going on. And Monica makes me happy. And I think once you get to know her, you'll like her, right? I feel like that emotional labor in that moment was placed on the wrong person. And someone commented on one of my videos about like the sexism that happens in a lot of these episodes. And I feel like this is another example of it, because why should Monica be the one to talk to Whitley? She's not the issue. The issue is her dad showing up with this woman, being in a whole relationship with this woman who's close to his daughter's age. So anyway, the whole family makes up, and then we see the very closing scene. They, you know, they like to end on like a funny note. They're leaving, and Whitley's like, well, Monica doesn't know how to ski, so I'm gonna take it to the scariest slope there is. And that was it. So that was how the episode ended. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And the thing about this episode that was different from all the ones we've seen so far is Denise is not the center of the story. Whitley is the center of the story. Whitley is my favorite character, as y'all already know, especially this first season. So I like that someone else was like the focus. That shift was definitely needed. There was only so much they can do with the Denise storyline. They made her an athlete. They made her in love with her professor. So now we have Whitley getting a little bit of story, her character getting a little bit more fleshed out. So we'll see what happens next. But that was episode 10. Please feel free to leave a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, subscribe to my channel. Let me see if I can get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That would be amazing. But hey, I'm just happy that y'all are here, and thanks for watching. Bye.